What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing some struts, much needed struts on the Calypso Clone. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and roll our old intro. That's kind of a blast from the past, I guess. What are we gonna do in this video today? Well, first off, we're gonna unbox the stuff that we got from LMR. I do wanna do an overview on the installation of the new struts that we've got. I've not even opened them up yet, so I hope that they're correct. I guess we're gonna find out on camera. I hope you guys can see. I hope this angle's good. I don't know. Ugh. There's one. There's two. Not much to see here. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we might as well go ahead and unbox it. I think it's just time that we go ahead and put some good struts and shocks on the Calypso. So I do not have the shocks yet. We'll be getting those here pretty soon. All right, now, after like 5 boxes, we're down to business. So this is what we have. Adjustable strange struts. So these are actually, you know, fairly reasonable, I guess you could say, as far as price goes. Because if you get into like the Bilstein and the Tokiko, whatever the hell the name is, if you get into those, they're actually pretty expensive. But these are fairly reasonable. Let me see. For some reason, I can't find a price at the moment. So this is how much they cost. So let's go ahead, get the other one unboxed, and I'll meet you guys under the car. 12 volt power. So one of the first things that we're gonna do is put some pressure on the bottom side of this A-arm. And what that's gonna do is keep this A-arm and whole assembly from falling down and dropping once we take the strut off. So let's go ahead and get our caliper out of the way, swing that thing out, probably zip tie it up, something like that. That way we can get to this bolt back here. Now it depends on your configuration. Sometimes the head of the bolt's facing this way, sometimes it's facing that way, and you'd be surprised at how that affects the way that you can get these off. Either way though, I'm gonna go ahead and start disassembling this. I'll get back to you guys in just a minute. I guess most people know this, it's just the way I do it. Before I pull my caliper off, I always pull and squeeze. And what that does is squeeze that caliper in a little bit, so that way whenever you go to take it off, it's a little easier, and also it's a little easier to put on. So there again, just kind of squeeze, pull it at an angle, and that gives you a little bit of play in here. And there you go. So there again guys, be mindful of your brake lines. Make sure that you zip tie it up or whatever, put it on a jack stand, whatever the case may be. Just make sure it doesn't sit there and dangle freely. Mine looks like it's gonna sit right up in here pretty nice. I don't have a lot of tension on everything, so it should be good. All right, so right down in here, that's where your strut bolts are. You see how mine are facing opposite directions. Now this is actually going to pose a problem for me, somewhat anyway, because this bolt needs to come out this side. You guys see that? That's kind of tight, right? So this is gonna be fun. All right, that one came right out. Since we got that loose, it looks like it's gonna come out. Let's go ahead and focus on this top nut. So we're gonna take this top nut off up here, and that's where the jack comes into play. So now once we do that, the suspension can't fall. If you take that off without having a jack down here, it's gonna be a bad day. Now if you have a sway bar, that will keep everything from completely collapsing on you. Obviously I don't have a sway bar, so if I do this, take this loose, and don't have a jack under it, everything's gonna hit the floor. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Ha-ha. No? What the hell? Jesus. So remember we talked about this before. You have to put tension on your strut, not always, but most of the time, so that it will come loose. You will have to release the jack a little bit, right? Okay, and what that did was put a little bit of stress on everything. You can actually come in and hold this with a pair of like vice grips or something, but you run the chance of marring up that rod, and you don't want to do that. So as you can see, that works just fine. So that's the way I choose to do it. All right, now this will give us some more mobility, some more freedom. Ooh, that was tight, but it made it. We got it out. Let's go ahead and look at the differences between these two. So this is the old strut, and it's fairly easy to push down, but watch the rebound. See how quickly that comes up? Okay, so that's the difference between that strut and this strut. Now watch. Doesn't have the rebound that the other has. Down here, this is what Strange says, and guys, I'm gonna have to read up on these a little bit. I've never used these particular struts before, but so drag race is gonna be 2 to 3 clicks, or 2 to 3 position. Street's gonna be 4 to 5, and road race is gonna be 7 or 8. All right, I'm gonna leave this one set at 11 right here. Now we're gonna set this one all the way back to 1, okay? So this will be the softest setting. See how easy that is to pull out? See that? Watch this. A lot harder, right? All right, I'm gonna push both of them down. Look at the difference. There's your difference right there. 1 is the softer setting, and 11 is the hardest. So we're probably gonna put these things somewhere around, I don't know, 5 or 6, something like that, and see how that goes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing installed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so let's look at the old strut next to the new strut side by side. And you can see that the old strut is a good bit wider in between, right? These are narrowed, so you're not gonna be able to run the spacers in there, which is fine by me because I don't wanna deal with those aggravating things anyway. So, cool. Now this time, let's put the bolts in correctly. So let's make sure we get the bolts facing this way. That's gonna give you the most clearance. I wish Andrew was here right now because he needs to do some work. He's over hanging out at Cruising the Coast, doing all that crap, and I'm over here trying to work overtime, work on the car, make videos, and he's sloughing off. That's what he does best though. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this thing pulled up. I have a caster camber plate on the car, and there's certain washers that have to go in certain spots. Yours will probably vary from mine, so I'm not gonna get into all that. All right, well, that's pretty much it, guys. And as always, thanks for watching. I kill me. Okay, let's go over here, tighten this back up. Wrong size, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Look, see, I had everything right there where I needed it. That feels like the wrong size. Got some really good news today, by the way. I think you all will really like it. I hope you do anyway. I'm super excited about it. I don't want to mention anything yet until we make sure that it's going to happen. But very, very, very happy. And hopefully I get to tell you guys here soon. Okay, so the key to this is make sure that you really put some ass behind it, right? You need to bend these tabs in. They have to squeeze in, and it's very, very hard. I mean, it probably takes over 100 foot-pounds easily to bend these. Anytime that I've ever put these on and didn't squeeze them in tight, it made noise. So you have to squeeze them down tight. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, and I'll get back to you guys in just a second. All right, so now that we got that done, the only thing left to do is come up here and tighten this down. You can go ahead, once you get the nut started, and basically take all the tension off of your A-arm, put all the tension on the strut, and this thing, I swear this thing will not last 30 minutes. 30 minutes and it's dead. Everything's tight down here. Grab this and make sure that there's no play in here. I thought I had mine tight, and come to find out it wasn't. I had to get in here with a pull handle to make sure that that was good and tight. Like I said, if it got cut off in the other video, once you get to this point and you get everything bolted up, push your strut up through the hole here, get the nut started, and then at that point you can release your jack. So let me go ahead, finish this up, and we'll do some talky talk. I got some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. Plus, we've got another box over here, so I want to show you guys that. All right, I'll be back in just a second. All right, so we got everything buttoned up on the car. Guys, I cannot believe the difference that these struts made.
Won't you pray for me? Live in the darkness. I'm in love with the heartless. I live in the darkness. Still in love with the heartless. I feel like it's all I know. Baby.
So as you can see, we changed the wheels out on the car. We're gonna do a whole nother video on it because the Retro Fox is sitting over there with the hot mesh wheels. So next up, what we'll do is we'll take the car down the road and we'll just see how it handles. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, man, why did you do that? You had your drag radials on the other wheels and now you just put new struts and we're trying to get this thing to hook. Why'd you do that? Well, honestly, I forgot about it. If I'm being completely honest, I thought about it like halfway through and I was like, screw it. The main reason for putting these struts on this car is because the front end was just like floating, right? So that's why we put the struts on the front. And anyway, super easy to install, guys. We'll jump in the car real quick. Like, I don't have anybody to help me film today. So we'll just kind of jump in the car, drive it down the road, and make sure everything's good with it. And just see how the car rides. How about that? We won't really know until we get the tires back on it with the drag radials, but for right now, we'll at least know if it helped with the front end. These front wheels are wider than the wheels that came off of it, than the hot mesh wheels. So there's a chance we may get a little bit of rubbage right here. I'm gonna have to go in and roll the fenders. I meant to do that, but I forgot. Anyway. I can already tell you that the front end of the car does not dip as much. Feels way more stable and planted, so that's a really good thing. Check the boost. I need to check the boost, by the way, too. Yeah, definitely spinning in third now. Car feels great, guys. It's nice to be back driving it again. Gotta get this windshield fixed. We got a nice crack up here, but man, the car just feels so much more tight now with these new struts on it. So this was a huge win for the car. It just feels so much more tight now. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We finally have a clutch for the Retro Fox. So I have a clutch. We got two antennas right here and some door handle bezels for inside the car. So hopefully soon this will be going into the Retro Fox. Sorry, had to throw that in at the end. I'm horrible at this. What? Oh, you know I had to do it.